morning, everyone, and welcome to Bonnie's Best Creations. And I hope your week has been okay and that you're moving on through all of this stuff that we're going through. So today I thought that I would share with you something that a recipe I've had and used for years. It's beef or steak pie. It's cold outside, no snow here yet, but it's cool, it's coming. But this is a great recipe, a simple recipe, a comfort recipe, and I hope you'll like it. So follow me, and we're going to make steak pie together. This recipe is so easy. Stewing beef, an onion, garlic, a package of tender flake puff pastry. This comes frozen in your grocery store, and I always keep a package frozen in my freezer. And what I do is I'm going to leave it in the fridge to defrost, and I will use this later. And then last of all, a pot. You can use a roast pan or this cast iron pot. You can even use a 9x13 roast pan or a tray, but you have to put a cover on it, something that has a cover. So whether you use foil or whatever, that's what you need. And of course, salt and pepper. So follow me along and I show you what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to roughly cut up my onion. I'm not dicing it, I'm just slicing it and throwing it in the pot. This is how simple this is. Throw that in the pot. And I love garlic. I have a whole cloves of garlic. So if you don't want as much, don't use it. If you want to use garlic powder, I would use a tablespoon. Just throw that in the pot. Then I have my stewing beef. Put that in there. And I'm going to generously sprinkle salt and pepper and stir. Just stir that all up. Okay. I am going to add just about maybe a quarter cup of water to the pan. Put a lid on it. I'm going to put this in my oven on a slow roast. I've got my oven on 275, and this is going to roast for maybe 2 hours. Slow. It's going to break down that stewing beef. Every half hour or so I'll take the lid off, stir it. If it's really dry, I will add a little bit more water and just keep stirring till that beef is tender. The onions will almost dissolve and the garlic. and become this savory, delicious, mouth-watering beef that is so good and so simple. So I'm putting it in the oven and just leave it for about 2 hours. Okay, everyone, every 20 minutes or so, I'm just stirring my beef, just making sure it's not too dry. You don't want a lot of liquid. The aroma is wonderful. Onions and beef doesn't get any better, but I have to break down that tough stewing beef. Now those onions will almost dissolve, so if you don't tell anybody, they might not even see the onions in there. So I'm going to continue doing that. It takes a long time, but this is comfort food. We're going to just keep stirring and smelling it. It's wonderful. Simple pleasures. Okay, there is my stewing beef, and I've had to add a little bit of water at different times, just not so it wouldn't dry out. And this is just so good, and if you taste it with the onions, it's so sweet. So you would never know, you can't even see the onions in there, but it gives such good flavor. So I'm going to leave that in there. I have transferred this to a pan before if I'm going to take it somewhere, but since this is just for us, I'm not doing that. So what I'm going to do now is, and like I told you, I have this tender flake pastry, and I've kept it cold. Now I'm heating my oven up to 425, a hot oven, and I'm now going to, now this is a smaller pan. If I was doing a 9x13 pan, I would do the whole puff pastry, but I'm just going to use half. And what I'm doing is just a little bit of flour both sides. And now I'm just going to roll this out. And I'm going to roll it thin until it's the size of the pan that I want it to go on top of. So keep rolling, stretching. Don't forget, this is cold. It's been in the fridge. So we're just going to keep rolling. As I roll it, it gets more soft. Just roll, roll. These are tried and true recipes. One of my sons always asks this for his birthday supper. He loves this. So just keep rolling. And all these things you can have on hand. You can buy a package of tender flake and have it in the freezer because it freezes pretty good. Well, it's already frozen when you buy it. But don't forget, it's not pastry, it's puff pastry. So a little bit different. So I'm just going to roll that out as thin as I can. And now I'm going to bring one over, and I'm just going to drape this. Right over my pan. I'm gonna pierce it to let the steam out. Now, I should have an egg wash, but I have no eggs left, so I'm just gonna brush it with a bit of milk. The egg is a little bit better. It makes it go a little bit more brown. That's okay. It's more, so just, so I'm going to put this in that 425 oven for about 20 minutes. All right, everyone. There. Doesn't that look delicious? See how that puff pastry has just browned nicely? And so I'm gonna cut into this. Wish you could smell my kitchen. It smells. It's hot, baby. There. And what I will serve with that, you could serve some mashed potatoes, but I don't think with the puff pastry you need that. So there you go. Delicious comfort food, steak pie. Supper's ready! Come and get it! Have a good day, everyone. God bless.